We need a week of programs for today's resolution. To be the kind of woman who truly blesses her man. Look at the wording. I will be faithful to my husband and honor him in my conduct and conversation in order to bring glory to the name of the Lord. I will aspire to be a suitable partner for him to help him reach his God-given potential. Priscilla Shirer has been making this her goal for 12 years. I'm sure you have been fulfilling your husband for 12 years.
I
Priscilla.
can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that there have been several seasons of our marriage where I have not been fulfilling my husband in the way that he would like to be fulfilled. And I think if you were to just ask your husband, in fact, that's the best way to figure out how to fulfill your man, is to just say to him, what is it that you need to feel loved and admired by me? I bet we know what will be at the top of all of their lists. I'm pretty sure we could be. I bet
we do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be clear on that. And that's okay, because like we feel fulfilled when they engage in conversation with us, maybe spend quality time with us, that same feeling of fulfillment and completion as a woman almost, you just kind of makes you feel like you can take on the world when your man is with you in that way. That's the same way he feels when we love him in a way that is specific to his love language. So we all know that, you know, we're kind of clear on that. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about sex in the book. I just didn't.
You didn't.
Because we already, do we really need to discuss this? We already know that that is a way that we can bless our man. And so I say just get after that part. I mean, just go ahead and get after it and be a blessing to your husband. But a way that we talk about a little bit less is our conversation to our husband and our conversation about our husband. If you were having a conversation,
especially in public is really the issue, isn't it?
If you're having a conversation with another girlfriend and the two of you are chuckling in a corner, is your husband for sure that that conversation is not about him? Will he know, just because of the confidence that he has in you as his wife, as someone that's got his back, can he be assured of the fact that that conversation, that little giggle between two women, he knows his wife is not talking about him behind his back? Is he that secure in you? He should be that secure in us. That's a way that they are fulfilled, when they know that their wives are honoring them, not only in their conduct, but also in their conversation. And
this is so amplified when you highlight the man's two greatest fears.
Absolutely. And listen, I did not come up with these fears. One of my friends and mentors, Miss Kay Arthur, who's been teaching the Bible for 50 years. I mean, goodness gracious, she's just a treasure. She said this to me once. She said, Priscilla, a man's greatest fears, two of them, the fear of being controlled by a woman and the fear of being found inadequate. Well, when you know going into a relationship with your husband, or currently in a relationship with your husband, when you know up front that those are his two fears, that somebody's going to figure out he's inadequate or that he'll be controlled by a woman, then you can go into your relationship and spend your time trying to dispel those fears, to let him know that you do not want to control him, that you trust him, that he is your hero, that you really believe he can accomplish the task at hand, even if you do have some reservations about that, even if you do think you might be able to handle something better than he can. When you dispel his fear, you will find that the repercussions of him knowing that you believe in him and don't want to control him, but want to honor him and place faith in him, the repercussions of that really come back on you 100-fold, of a man who really feels like he's married to a woman that believes he's capable. And then if he recognizes that you really care for him, even in spite of his inadequacies, that you're not going to be pointing them out, bringing his weaknesses to the forefront.
Humiliating him.
Humiliating him. Because the thing is, he knows he's inadequate in different areas, just like you and I know we're inadequate in different areas. Nobody likes someone who will point out their inadequacies and make a huge spectacle out of them. But oftentimes, don't we do that? We kind of bring their weaknesses to the forefront over and over and over again. And you and I wouldn't want to be married to somebody like that, so we shouldn't be those kind of wives to be married to.
It really emasculates them. The male ego needs support.
It does.
And that's part of the reason we're there. You know, the day after my husband proposed to me, over 22 years ago, he came to visit and he had cold feet all over his face. I thought, uh-oh, he's rethinking this.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you afraid of? Do you know what he said? Loss of control. You see? It's wired right into the man. And what happens to the man when we usurp that position?
They relinquish the position And it becomes frustrating for us because what happens is now we've got to take on this leadership position because our husbands aren't doing it. And we're upset because they're not doing it. And we're pointing a figure, you need to lead. But really, it's the exact position we snatched right out of their hands. And so then we're frustrating because we're taking on a role that we were never meant to take on, but we're the ones who snatched it out of their hands.
And they shut down.
And they shut down. And it doesn't mean that we excuse the fact that they have shut down. They need to be encouraged to continue to step up into that position regardless of what their wives are doing. So I'm not excusing that. But the Resolution for Women is a book not written for your husband. It is written for you. So I'm challenging wives to give back that position of leadership to your husband. It's
now,
going
if
to be
he's
hard.
showing no signs of initiative,
Right.
no interest whatever in whatever aspect of leading,
Yes.
what do you do?
Now, it will be, I'm not saying that this is an easy task, but in small ways, if you can begin to give back the control, where something he would expect you to do because you've been doing it for so long, if you just said, oh no, babe, you do it. You know what I mean? I think I would love to see how what decision you're going to make regarding that. What do you want to do? If you begin slowly and surely to put that control back into their hands, you will find that maybe not immediately, but over time, you will begin to see that man's chest puffing out again in that particular area. His confidence being restored because he's got a woman by his side who actually trusts and believes that he makes decisions that are worth someone following.
You have a 24-hour challenge on page 196.
I do.
Do you need to look at it to deliver
No,
it?
I remember the challenge because it was my own personal challenge for myself. It was so hard. And it was for 24 hours not to correct or criticize or try to revamp any decisions that your husband makes. So this means even in small things, if he's the one choosing what restaurant to go to dinner, you don't say, oh, I don't really feel like that, let's go somewhere else. Or, here's the hard one, Moira. It's when you're driving in a car and you know that the route that they are choosing is the longest possible route to get to the destination. And you know that there is an easier route. It is restraining yourself for 24 hours from telling that man how to get there and where to go, but allowing him to choose his own path. Or he gets your little girl dressed and it's a disaster. But you don't correct it. You don't put it all back together. You don't get a new outfit. You just let everything be. Now, I got to tell you, I had a friend who did this for 30 days. And she did it for the hardest 30 days of the entire year. It was over the Christmas. It was like over December.
Oh no.
For 30 days.
Pressure season.
Oh my gosh, there's so many decisions to be made, Christmas pictures to decide on. She let him make all the decisions. And in doing so, it was so hard for her, but in doing so, she saw her husband's confidence rebuilt in the fact that he believed that he had a wife that trusted him.
Beautiful.
And the result of that on a marriage is staggering. There is nothing better than a man that actually feels like one. When you're married to a man who feels like a man, the effects of that they're going to benefit you. It's not really about him. In the end, it's about you.
You win.
Yeah, you
win.
When a man feels like a man, the passion, the intimacy that we so desire, all of that ripple effect comes back on us because a man likes to feel like your hero, like your guardian, and like your protector. And so if you'll give him back the reins of leadership, you will see that you will begin to feel like the woman that you really want to feel like in the relationship. Won't be easy, but it'll be worth it.
Now, I have to squeeze in one goodie from this section.
Okay.
Because there may be someone who, like you, is energetic and effervescent, and they're saying, well, this biblical stuff, I don't know. Like the Bible also says that a beautiful woman has a gentle and quiet spirit, and that's just not who I am. Like
Yes.
this stuff doesn't fit me.
Oh.
That was a problem for you too.
It sure was. I was thinking God was not being fair when he wrote that passage or had that passage written in 1 Peter because, I mean, there is nothing quiet or gentle about me. And so I thought, well, God, if you didn't make my personality this way, why in the world would you expect that out of me? That's not fair. But if he has it written, that means it is possible by his Spirit for every single one of us, regardless of what our personality currently is, to be able to subject ourselves to that particular standard. And what I discovered is that gentleness. I loved this description in Scripture in the original languages. It talks about gentleness being the kind of person who really is able to cause someone to have their load or their burden lifted. It's a load lifter is what it is. If we go into our relationship with our husbands realizing that today my responsibility is to lift the load. I'm a load lifter. What do I need to do? How can I use my personality in a way that is conducive to him, helpful to him, helps to lift the burden that he's so carrying as the leader of this home, the protector of this home? Man, he's got a lot on his shoulders, and so do you, my friend. But our responsibility is to be the load lifter to that guy. What can I do to be a blessing to him to lift that burden off of his shoulders just a little bit so that what he's carrying isn't so heavy?
Just a taste of the insights. Every page is yummy. And I can say that for both books. The Resolution for Men, The Resolution for Women. Take a look at this.
I want to know what God expects of me.
The Resolution for Men by Stephen and Alex Kendrick strategically inspires men to reconcile with their past, re-engage in their present, and move forward with a bold resolution for the future.
The Resolution for Women by Priscilla Shirer challenges all women to be intentional about thriving in God's calling on their lives, to bless and change things in their world for the better.
The Resolution for Men and Women is a movement intended to help strengthen your family, community, and our nation to become fully resolved. It's our thanks to you for your support.
We invite you today to become a Crossroads Foundation member with a monthly pledge of $30, a Builder member at $60 a month, or a Crossroads Council member at $100 per month.
We would like to send you a copy of one or both of these books. Please call 1-888-288-0003 with your membership pledge or special gift. You can also write us or visit crossroads.ca.